It's new comic book day, so let's go over everything I got. I also got this really cool thing, which I will talk about at the end of the video. No last week's update for this video because, this is the beginning of the month and we did a last month's read in a previous video. So to start off, we have Batman White Knight. This is continuing my collection of the Compact Comics books. The first in the White Knight Elseworld series, which I do have. I was turned off of it initially when it first came out because I didn't like the idea of Jason being the first Robin instead of Grayson. I reread it and then I read the rest. I think I have the rest minus Generation Joker. I believe I have like every other book that they have. I really like the art in this book. It's really, really nice. And I think the world building is pretty good too. There's a lot of stuff that is a little weird, two Harley Quinns, some of the stuff about the Wayne family, some of the reliance on the GCPD in the story. But other than some of those weird stuff, I think it is pretty good. I think it does a lot of fun stuff. So yeah, this is going to be added to my Compact Comics stack, and I don't got to worry about reading it because I have already read this story. Absolute Batman Volume 2. I'm really excited about this one because this is the first volume 2 that they are releasing for the Absolute line. And this is when I'm going to start collecting and reading more of the Absolute books because I had initially gotten the first 6 issues of all the Absolute titles. I wanted to do a hard stop on 6 issues because I wanted to get them in trades later, and I'm finally getting to that point where I can get them in trades now. So technically I'm a little behind on all these stories, but I kind of know what's happening. I've seen what people have been posting about the current issues and stuff like that. More in-depth readings I'm going to finally get to. I'm excited about this because obviously Bane is a big factor in this story, in this volume, but in the Absolute Batman story in general. And Bane in general is a pretty cool character, even in the mainline universe. So I'm excited to see how the Absolute line depicts Bane. Batgirl 16. There was also a variant for this issue that I could have gotten. It's like this really cool purple background variant. I did really want that one, and it's a really cool variant. It's just that I'm not really enjoying the story enough to want to get more copies. I know it's really just getting it for the art, but the story has been pissing me off for the last, I don't know how many issues, but I really don't like the direction the story is going. Narratively, it's really weird. The characters don't make any sense. Why is she Nissa Al Ghul instead of Nissa Ratko? What is with Tenji? He's kind of introduced as a big deal and then subsequently pushed to the background. There's a new character they've added into the books, into Cassandra Cain's supporting cast. I don't really understand her point. She's on multiple sides, but also we don't know anything about her. We don't know anything about the villains. There's just too much that's unexplained, left on the floor, and then the story just drags so much. This is the final issue, or I believe it's the final issue of this arc. I think they actually come back to a lot of these storylines, maybe down the line, but for now, the next issue after this one will be her coming back to Gotham. So this should be the finale of some sort of arc, and I'm excited about that because I would like this to wrap up and speed up to a different part of the story. I need something new to refresh it. I'm not going to drop the series yet because a new arc is coming and that could definitely be a lot better. I also just really like Cassandra Cain, so I'm going to kind of sit through it. If it gets to a point where it's just really bad, then I'm going to have to drop it, but for now, I think I can stomach it. Batman number 6. This is from the new Batman series. I'm excited about this one. I really like this series the more I think about it. I really do think the kind of thesis is an aging Gotham, having these characters progress past where they are, in a meaningful way, in a way that actually matters, and hopefully leaves a lasting impact on Batman mythos. I mean, obviously most people, myself included, don't really like when they just make a bunch of changes or do things that are really stale in the story or have no real effect later down the line. I also really like the episodic nature of this series. I think that's really fun. It keeps it fresh and fast paced. And I like a lot of the character drama that they're working with. I think the characters actually feel alive, they feel actual people instead of just caricatures or plot points. Instead of the characters being made to just get to one point of the story to another, I do like that they actually have some semblance of depth to them. But I've seen some previews for this one, specifically about Tim Drake, so I'm excited to see more of the context. But yeah, I think this is probably one of my favorite current ongoings right now. I'm really enjoying it. I wouldn't say it's something spectacular right now, but, the more I think about it, the more I like it. Night Fight number 4. This is the finale of Night Fight. I'm excited about this. This is supposedly Damian's issue if we're going by the trend, although Tim Drake barely got a few pages, so I don't know if that counts as a Tim Drake issue, but I am excited to see how this story ends, how Bruce Wayne kind of grapples with older versions of his kids. What does that legacy do to him? What does the semblance of legacy do for him? I do wonder if this will have some sort of lasting effect. It's kind of hard to tell because it's a tie-in to an event, so I don't know how important that's going to be to the grand scheme of Batman history. I do really enjoy some of the ideas presented in the series. I like the Bat Suits, of course, so I hope that we will see them again. If not, what a waste. And then I also wonder how this ties into DCKO exactly. It starts off as a tie into DCKO, but we've kind of like derailed to a point where it's like, okay, we need to bring him back into the fold somehow. So I'm sure that'll tie into the actual next 2 issues of DCKO, because I think we're still on issue 3. So, you know, 4 and 5 are the last 2 in that series. But yeah, I do think this is kind of a fun little Bat Family mini-series. Okay, now finally we can talk about this Batman popcorn bucket. So I went to AMC to see Iron Lung, and I got this really cool Batman popcorn bucket. They also have a bunch of other ones, you know, from DC. There's Justice League, Superman, Action Comics, Wonder Woman. There was a Flash one. I thought they were pretty cool. I didn't know when they were releasing until I think the day of, like when I went in there. So I was actually like pretty excited about that. I only got the Batman one because obviously I'm a big Batman fan. If I could have gotten the rest, I definitely would, but that's a lot of money. And as a popcorn bucket, it also opens, as you can see here. It's not like huge, it's pretty sizable, but it's definitely smaller than a comic book issue. I still think it's pretty cool though. I think it's a lot of fun. I like the popcorn buckets that AMC has been doing more and more recently, and more DC collectibles is something I really like. It also came with this lanyard, as you can see, Batman lanyard, and it also has little cards in them. So you can kind of see this is a Detective Comics one on this side, and then on the other side we have a Batman one. I think specific covers from certain issues, well, this one obviously is. This one's an iconic cover. I'm not sure exactly what this one is from, which issue this one is from of Batman, but these are 2 separate cards that they kind of put in here. And I thought it was really cool that they also included a lanyard. They don't really include other things when they make popcorn buckets. So this was pretty cool. But yeah, that's everything I have for my haul this week. I'm also going to a con this weekend, so I'm going to try to record as much as that as I can. Kind of Frankenstein stitch together a vlog and upload that probably within the next week. So I won't hold on to that too long, unless the clips are just like totally disorganized and just really random and just it's not a good video. We'll see. I mean, I'll probably upload something at least. So yeah, that's everything I have for this video this week. So let me know what you guys have been reading, what you guys think about what I got and what I've been reading. And let me know what you guys think of the popcorn bucket, if you guys plan on getting those too, or if you like them, don't like them or anything. I'll see you next time.